automatically to successful economic development, and that there is no difficulty in satisfying all material desires. Since Dhruva Maharaj, as a king, had to keep up his status quo, or it will not have been possible to rule over the people in general. He did it perfectly, but as soon as he saw that his son was grown up and could take charge of the royal throne, he immediately handed over the charge and retired from all material engagement. One word used here is very significant. Avita lang diya, which means that he was not disturbed by the agitation of the sceptics, nor was his sensory power diminished. Although in years he was a very bad man.
Very old man.
Sorry.
Very old man.
Okay. Old man. He over the world for 36,000 years. Naturally, one may conclude that he became very, very old. But actually, his senses were very young, and yet he was not interested in sense gratification. In other words, he remained self-controlled. He performed his duties perfectly according to the materialistic way. That is the way of behavior of a great devotee. Shri Raghunath Dasa, the Swami, one of the direct disciples of Lord Chaitanya, was the son of a very rich man, although he had no interest in enjoying material happiness. When he was entrusted with doing something in managing the state, he did it perfectly. Gurachandra advised him, from within, keep yourself and your mind to be done. Sorry. Keep yourself and your mind completely aloof, but externally execute the material duties just as they did to be done. This transcendental position can be achieved by devotees only, as described in the Bhagavad Gita, while others, such as yogis, trying to control their senses by force. Devotees, even though posting all sensory powers, he did not use them because they engage in higher transcendental activities. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you very much. There are 2 points to take from this particular text and the purport. Number one, as a leader, we must have a successional plan. We must have a successional plan. What does that mean? Here it is mentioned, Dhruva Maharaj, even though he was very expert in his duty, when it was the time for him to leave his management, he enthroned his son. That is successional plan. And also, even before, also prior to this, his father also, when he saw that Dhruva Maharaj already became qualified, he left the kingdom and enthroned Dhruva Maharaj. So similarly, as a leader, and many of us are here as leaders, as a leader, we must always have successional plan. Who is that person you are training to replace you when you renounce, or when you completely absorb yourself in devotional service and give up management? Because management sometimes, because of his nature, does not allow one to completely absorb one in the service of the Lord. Just like Dhruva Maharaj, he has to exhaust his pious activity by enjoyment and diminish the other empires by austerity. So sometimes when we engage in management, this kind of situation are there. But for the devotees who want to completely absorb himself, just like Dhruva Maharaj is going to do, you have to have a successional plan. In management also, this is a culture in management generally. In every department, you must have two people who know that particular activity, so that if somebody is not around, the other person can take up the duty. That is number one, successional plan. As a great devotee and a great leader, we must have successional plan on who will take over from us once we leave. The other point mentioned here is that as a devotee, we should be very expert in our duties. We should be very expert in our duties. Because I'm a great devotee, because I'm a pure devotee, doesn't mean that I can do things nonchalantly, or I can do things, in a very shabby way. And because I'm a devotee, everybody should just take it like that. No. If we find a particular duty which we are supposed to be engaging in, if we don't have the knowledge in that field, you can either get someone who have that knowledge to do that duty for you, or you learn about it. So as a devotee, we have to be experts in our duties. Very, very important mention also here. Dhruva Maharaj was very expert in his statesmanship, was very expert. And when it's time for him to abdicate the throne, he already has a son that he already trained that is going to take his position, so that he can leave the throne and absorb himself in the next stage of his life to go back home, back to Godhead. So this is very, very important for us. And Prabhupada used a very good example of Raghunath Das Goswami. We all know that story from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Raghunath Das Goswami was from a very wealthy home, and it was completely detached. Actually, it was described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that the wealth of Raghunath Das Goswami's parents are like that of the king of Indra, King Indra. Very, very opulent. You can imagine that when you say this, the opulence of his parents are like the King Indra, means very, very opulent, very, very opulent people. And he was always detached from this opulence, and he wanted to run away from home, every time trying to run away from home. Again, his parents would send guards to go and bring him back. Every time run away from home again. So when Chaitanya Prabhu now came to Shantipur, to very close to Raghunath Das Goswami, he asked the chance to meet Chaitanya Prabhu, and Chaitanya Prabhu instructed him, you go back home and perform your duty expertly. This duty, this instruction is for all devotees who are engaging in similarly material activities. So Chaitanya Prabhu told him, you go back home, perform your duty very expertly. While doing your duty, always think of Krishna. Chaitanya Prabhu gave an example of a woman who has a paramour. If a married woman has a paramour, she will perform her house duty very expertly, so that the husband will not discover. But actually, in her mind, he's always thinking of the man she's going to meet. So whenever she gets opportunity, it's already off to meet that man. But at home, she will perform her duty very expertly, so that the husband will. So Chaitanya Prabhu asked Raghunath Das Goswami to follow that that nature. So that is very, very important to take note. That was the mode of Dhruva Maharaj also. That is why Prabhupada was citing that in the purport. Dhruva Maharaj was always thinking of the Lord, always is a pure devotee of the Lord, but he performed his duty, he carried out the duty of statesmanship very perfectly. So we can learn from this also. Any points or question or contribution regarding this point?
Krishna.
Yeah, Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, so I think here the point is it's no need to renounce from home to temple. But you can be at home and execute your duty separately.
Yes.
Okay.
You're right, Prabhu.
All right. Thank you.
But if you already hold and you don't have any responsibility again, you can just focus on Krishna and dedicate your life and surrender everything to Krishna. Once you have already finished your material obligations. Yeah. Any other contribution? Any contribution or comments? Okay, so let's stop here in verse 14. The next will be 15. Let us start with our presentation. So who is ready to give his, okay, we have to start from Prabhu, Jyotishwaru Prabhu. Jyotishwaru Prabhu, you are the one going to present. So please get ready for your presentation. Then after Jyotishwaru Prabhu, the next will be, let me check. The next will be Salika Prabhu, and then Chitra already told me will not be coming today. It's okay. That is not very. We will hear from His Grace Yajuna Prabhu after that, and then Madhuvan Prabhu, then Rasavan Prabhu, and Kamalash Prabhu is not here today. Then Tama Krishna Prabhu. Okay, so let's start. Yosishwar Prabhu, I know you already put your computer ready for the presentation. I can see that.
Yes,
Okay,
Prabhu.
so yeah, let me give you the ability to share, and I'm going to just 1 minute. Oh my God, I just took my life. I'm looking for how I can make you to share. Okay. Allow. Okay, let me make you co-host so that you can share. Okay, Prabhu, so go ahead. No, open the window. Okay, sit that open the window. Are you getting
Hare
ready,
Krishna.
Prabhuji? Yeah.
Prabhuji, how can I share the screen?
Yeah, I already give you, I make you co-host, so you should be able to share.
My screen is appearing.
It's not appearing, but you are co-host now, you should be able to share through your HP.
Yes.
Once you are ready, I will start the time.
Yes, Prabhuji. You can see the screen. Can you see the screen, Prabhuji?
Yeah, it's coming up now. Yeah, now we are seeing your screen.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees.
Yeah.
So today we are going to see the presentation from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 11, from verse 1 to 17. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnyavadi Paschati Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So we can see in this chapter that how Dhruva Maharaj had a fighting with yakshas, and after killing so many yakshas, Swayambhu Manu appeared and he gave him the instruction. As he was his grandfather, he gave him the instruction. So we can see Manu arrives on the battlefield. As we can see in the picture, that these are the yakshas all. We can see the human beings, elephant, snakes, lion, tigers, so many creatures. So actually, as Chaitanya Prabhu, Chaitanya Prem Prabhu once told me that yakshas there are living, I mean, like human beings, but they can take any form. So we can see exactly from this picture that how yakshas are. They can take form of lion, they can change it to tiger, to the horse, like that. So we can see from in this slideshow, we can see from verse 1 to 6, in which we can see Manu arrives on the battlefield and stops Dhruva Maharaj for killing the Yakshas. And he begins by reminding him, Dhruva Maharaj, that these actions are not benefiting the devotee of the Lord. So he should stop. So we can get a lesson, key lesson from here, that anger is the enemy of spiritual progress. Because if we are angry, we can take any decision, and it will be difficult for our spiritual path. So then we can see here, like killing thousands of innocent yakshas because of the mistake of one is not a justice, is an act of ignorance. So only one yaksha killed his brother, and resulting that Dhruva Maharaj, because of his angerness, he killed so many yakshas. So we can see in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse 14. दैवी एषा गुणमयी मम मया दुरत्यया मामेव वे ये प्रपद्यन्ते मायामेतां तरन्ति ते. So we can see this divine energy of mind, Lord says, consisting of three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. So Lord also emphasized here in this sloka that the material energy, the mode of material energy, we cannot just overcome of these three mode of material energy. So the angerness is one of the quality which which we have to control over it. Yes, so we can see in the next slide. The next slide shows from verse 7 to 10. It's normally is a visual presentation. We can see that it explains how the universe and the body and the soul is. So Manu explained that the physical body is merely a combination of material element, which the soul is eternal and separate from the material world. So as Manu Maharaj was explaining, Dhruva Maharaj, his mistake he has done and how he can correct it. In this in these verses, we can see there is an analogy like just as air inside a pot is the same as the air outside. When the pot breaks, the soul remain unaffected when the body perishes. So we can see when someone even dies, the soul does not finishes. Is only the body. So it's not that we are soul. I mean, it's not that we are this body. We are just a soul. So and we can see false ego. In the previous slide, we show anger, and this slide we see uh, Swayambhu Maharaj is explaining how we have to, a devotee have to come over false ego. So in false ego, like it is only due to the false ego, ahankar, that a living entity thinks, I am this body or these are my enemies. So because we are thinking I am this body, that's why we have that false ego or ahankar, and that's how we are sometimes behaving with angerness, with false ego, pride, and all those things. So we have to, as a devotee, we have to learn how to overcome all these qualities. In the next slides, we will see from verses 11 to 13, we can see how Lord Vishnu is himself a Kal, the wheel of time. So Manu Maharaj even explained this to Dhruva Maharaj, that the Supreme Lord in his as a time. He explained that the world moves under the direction of the Lord and birth and death are inevitable cycle. So we can learn from here, no real enemy, no one is actually a friend or an enemy. People are simply instrument or a destiny and destiny and time. So we can see in the next slide from 14 to 17, the final verses are this emphasizes on tolerance and surrender. So Manu Maharaj is explaining to Dhruva Maharaj that one must tolerate the dualities of life, happiness and distress, heat and cold, to remain steady on the path of liberation, and then the surrender. So by realizing that this Lord is the ultimate controller of all result, one can give up a burden of anger and revenge. So we have to understand that God, Lord is a controller, and we don't have to expect any result. So in the last slide, I have tried to put uh, some instruction here. We will go through this something like a sheet. So there is a problem like anger. So we can see directing energy towards the divine, not the enemy. So the result will be peace of mind. So if we are angry, if we apply this, we will get peace of mind. Then the ego. So realizing we are a soul, not a body. When we do that, the result will be freedom from fear. Then we can see a frustration. When we are in frustration, accepting the supreme will, time. So when we apply this, we will be in patience and grace. So Manu Maharaj are not just a lecture their words were not only the lecture, they are spiritual medicine. And by understanding these verses, Dhruva Maharaj was able to pacify his anger and recognize that his real struggle was not with yakshas but with his own material identification. So we will, from these verses, we take away our final understanding that don't let your brother's death or any tragedy kills your spiritual character. To forgive is not a weakness, it is the highest form of strength. So we have to learn this. Hare Krishna.
Very much. I appreciate your presentation. And yeah, you at least you're able to do justice to the verses given to you. Thank you very much. So we call on His Grace Salika Prabhu. I can see the message in the group, in the chat. Yadina Prabhu said that already done last week since you gave us. I have not done as I was running. Okay. Got to come to Lagos from the travel state now in August State. I can do my presentation next week Sunday. However, I'm not with laptop. Okay, Prabhu, it's all right. I understand your situation. I'm always seeing you here and there also. Okay, this Alika Prabhu, please, are you ready?
Hare Krishna, my respectful obeisances to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord.
Jai Prabhu.
Praise to his confounder, Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. So, if I get your permission, I will start.
Yes, Prabhu, please go ahead, Prabhu. Let me just put the time off. Yeah, you can go ahead, Prabhu.
Okay, Namam Vishnu Pada Krishna Pista Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Chita Swamiti Namaste Krishna Prabhupada Gaura Karna Sati Bhakti Chitati Namine. So, the presentation today is centered around 4th Canto, 11th chapter, text number 18 to 26, and is focused on the Dhruva Maharaj's battle with the Yakshas. The text started with the instruction of Manu to Dhruva Maharaj. So all of these 8 texts focuses on lesson to be learned in anger, the importance of guidance, and ultimately the devotion. So let us explore this epic story of Dhruva Maharaj battle with the Yakshas. So, like I've said, the lesson will be centered around these 3 focal points, because ultimately we're just trying to summarize here. We don't have all of the time to go into the details of it. So this presentation will be centered around the lessons in anger, guidance from the predecessors or the superiors, and ultimately the lesson of devotion. So we're discussing summary text of Srimad Bhagavatam, like I said, 4th Canto, chapter 11, text number 18 to 26. So what I decided to do in this particular presentation is not to go too much into the details of the text, because we all have the text with us. So I'm just going to be focusing on the summary of what we are to catch from all of this. So basically, I have drawn a 5 points of what this 8 text focuses on. It talks about the fights that Dhruva Maharaj had with the Yakshas. It focused, Manu talked about the anger that drives him into the Essex, and sages here, I used sages Manu, but I didn't remember that I did. So Manu wants Dhruva Maharaj to control his anger in explaining that ultimately the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the creator, the maintainer, and the annihilator of everything. Everything is emanating from him. So therefore, although sometimes we think we are the doer, we are not the doer. And after the advice of Dhruva Maharaj, Manu, Dhruva humbly accepted the advice, and he resumed the fight with balance and devotion. So the personal application to be drawn from this text, like I said, today I decided to use a different approach to this presentation, not going into much of the text. I'm just drawing out the personal application that is to be derived from this text. So there are five points of personal application in this 8th test that I'm summarizing. One is control of the importance of controlling anger. Whenever a situation comes before us, we should pause first, reflect before reacting. If Dhruva had done that, he will have remembered the instructions of the Lord, and for the fact that the Lord has informed him before. But because he did not take that pause, he just went ahead and acted based on his impulse. And that is what led it even to a sex. And then secondly, importance of accepting guidance from the superior. When we find ourselves in a situation, the importance of the lesson learned in this test is that we must seek for the guidance. Even when we think we know, we should be humble enough to accept the guidance and corrections from the superiors, even when we think they are not, we know what is to be done, because their wisdom can guide us. And when we have done this, we have a balance in duty. And because of the guidance that we receive, we'll develop the appropriate strength that is backed up with compassion. We will not act irrationally. We will see the need for compassion, which is the quality of a devotee. And also, of course, in the test, each test, the whole of the summary of what Manu was telling Dhruva Maharaj is to understand that ultimately every living entity must depend on God, trust in the power of God for everything. And in this way, he will be able to understand the way to heart. And the 5th personal application as presented here is that when we have taken these previous steps, we will grow spiritually. We will turn our challenges into growth, not turning it to fall down or committing more situation. So these are the 5 personal applications I draw from this 8 text that we are summarizing. And because Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhakti Vaibhav courses always teaches us that we should focus on preaching application, personal application. So here, preaching application that I draw from this also is 5. That the personal preaching application is that this text shows us that it warns us that anger can lead to fall down. It shows us that we can draw a preaching application in the importance of spiritual values, counsel, that is listening to gurus, to the superiors, elders, and whoever is above of us. The preaching application is focusing on all of that. And then the 3rd one is balancing devotion, zeal with humility. Because we're trying to be humble does not mean that we should be stupid. My Guru Maharaj used to say that one should be humble, but at the same time bold. Boldness and humility, materially, people cannot understand how one can be bold and at the same time be humble. So, but the story of Dhruva Maharaj shows us that from what Manu told Dhruva, that even though he has his duty as the king, but at the same time, he should be humble. And then ultimately, God's empowerment is what brings about victory. The mercy of God is what leads to victory, not our strength, not our power. Dhruva was trying to exert his power as an individual person, and that was one of the reasons why he fell into the excessive anger. And then ultimately, after the instructions, the preaching application we draw from there is that after hearing Manu, Dhruva was able to take instructions because, of course, he's a devotee, and he was able to transform his anger into the service of the Lord. In conclusion, we should takeaway is that our zeal to serve must be guided by wisdom. Correction, even when we see something wrong, should be seen as a blessing, not weakness. And truth, strength, our true strength comes from God, not from our intelligence or our ability. So therefore, we should seek all of God's grace in that regard. So ultimately, in life, battles, let devotion and self-control lead the way. In life battles, whatever the situation, we should allow our devotion and self-control to lead us in the way to take us to the ultimate goal. Thank you very much for listening. And this is the summary of the 8 tests that I'm giving to work upon.
Thank you very much, Prabhu, for the presentation, putting your energy to put that together. We really appreciate. And we're inspired. And so Madhava Prabhu gave excuse why he cannot give his own today. Yaduna Prabhu also gave us some excuse, and he's not available because he has been up and down. His computer is not with him. Razama Prabhu also just sent a message in that he will not be able to give today. Kamalash Prabhu is not here. Tamakrisha Prabhu, do you have anything to give? Chitra Prabhu also sent me a message to he will not be able to give today. You know, it's very, very interesting to get all these excuses, you know. Even though it's more than 2 weeks now, you know. But it's all right. We should not be disturbed. And I just want to believe that we are so busy, that we are so busy that drinking of the nectar become very difficult because we are so busy. because actually all this assignment we are given is like forcing you to drink the honey. So no matter how busy we are, I don't think we should give excuse to drink the honey because it's honey. It's like they say, okay, take this sweet rice. No, Prabhu, I'm very busy. I cannot take the sweet rice. But it's okay. I will accept all the excuses. But it's not. I'm not very happy. There's so many excuses coming in, but I will accept them. Tamakrishna Prabhu, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, are you ready? Or there's some excuse?
Not much excuse, but it's not. I can't make it flat. I'm not good in those things. But my computer is not around with me.
No, the assignment I gave you, you don't need computer. You don't need the PowerPoint. You don't need presentation. Have you gone through that assignment I gave you? Did you see your name?
Yes, I've gone through it.
Okay. Yes, are you ready? Are you ready to present?
Yes, let me try.
Yeah, so you have 3 minutes, Prabhu. Please go ahead.
Okay. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, we are hearing you.
Okay. So I'm giving Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, 11, 15. Talk about creating. First thing is creating. Creating takes place with the ingredients of 5 things. That is fire, earth, water, fire, air, and then space. And then also you can see here that creation is the action of Rajaguna, or the mode of passion, and annihilation is the Tamaguna, that is the mode of ignorance. So creation, here to understand that we can see that even in animals, when after they born, they take care of their children. So this maintenance too is very important. As human beings, too, we take care of our children and so on. So, in shortly, those in the mode of goodness, you can see they live longer. And Sri Prabhupada was advising us, when they go up, they can fall down again. But we should take it transcendentally. When you go, there's no need you can come back to this material world again. So it's good for the devotee to accept the mode of transcendental goodness. That is for our goal in life. So not this. We should be good and be transcendentally. That is the only way for we, the Bhakti Vaibhav students, to be transcendentally. This is the goal of our life. So when you see all these people about the creating, the materially, and then this is all, the point is we have to be transcendental. That is the only way. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. For keeping to time. I really appreciate that. And thank you for your presentation. I'm very, very happy to hear the name Srila Prabhupada said. So in any presentation, when anyone is giving any presentation, I love to hear Srila Prabhupada say. I love that more than anything. Because this Bhagavatam we are studying, we understand through the eye of Srila Prabhupada in his purport. So whenever anybody is giving present, I'm just saying this in general for those who are presented and those who are going to present in the future. I love to hear Srila Prabhupada say. Srila Prabhupada say like this in this particular point. Srila Prabhupada mentioned like this in that particular point. To buttress your points you are trying to explain to us. We love that. We love to hear that so much. It's very, very inspiring. So thank you for the devotees who are able to give their presentation today. And the thing that is there is that I've taken notes of those devotees who are giving their presentation. I don't know, maybe there will be another presentation next week. But tomorrow is the last day to give. Today and tomorrow will be the last day for this presentation. For those who have not given, if you want to still speak, you'll be given the opportunity to speak tomorrow. After tomorrow, this presentation will be over. And then, like I said, we are going to give verses. I'm going to give chapters because this story of Dhruva Maharaj started from the chapter 8 to 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 chapters. So now we just spend like 5-10 minutes to discuss what chapter you want to take. I don't, because I say people should put in, but I'm not seeing any message. So now let us discuss. I want to give this 5 chapters to different devotees to give presentation on them. You give summary of the whole chapter. In particular, pointing out Srila Prabhupada's purport to explain the summary. Okay, the verse is okay, summarize, but mention. I want us to expatiate our summary using Prabhupada's quotes from the particular chapter. Okay, so chapter 8. So we want to take chapter 8. Who would like to take chapter 9? Who would like to take chapter 10, 11, and 12? If you don't take, yes, Yaduna Prabhu.
My suggestion, Adekishna, my suggestion is that you just appoint, then we follow accordingly.
You know why I'm asking you people to pick chapter? Because in the course of studying, there must be a particular chapter that draw your attention. You want to dive deeper into it. I can easily give you chapter, oh, but I'm just trying to weigh in. Okay, we have been studying all these chapters. Which one has drawn your attention that you see when you are studying a book? There's how you are studying a book. You are thinking, I want to read this particular one again because it draws your attention. It gives you so much motivation. You really want to dive deep into it. If not, I can easily give chapter to everyone, oh, just like you said. But I want to know which one has drawn your attention. Which chapter has drawn your attention that you think you want to read again? That's what I'm asking. I agree with your suggestion, but I'm asking, do you have any chapter that has drawn your attention you want to read again? That's what I'm asking. Oh. If there's none that in particular that has drawn our attention, then I will share. That one is not difficult to easily. I can easily give, okay, you take this one, take this one, take this one. But if you are telling me that all this course of our studying, there's no one that has drawn your attention, then I can give. I will just give 1 minute or 2 minutes for us to ponder on that point.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I will take chapter 10.
You take chapter 10, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so
because already I've presented chapter 11 today. I don't want to take 11. Otherwise,
okay.
I will not do any homework.
That is very interesting. I
10.
love that. Oh, very good. Thank you for taking chapter 10. So give me your pen. So chapter 10 has been already taken. So
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Rasava Prabhu.
Yeah, give me chapter 11.
Radhama Prabhu, you are taking chapter 11, no? I don't want to hear excuse, Prabhu.
Yes.
Please, I'm begging you.
Don't worry.
I'm begging you, no excuse, no, because you have to give the presentation on the chapter you have taken. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay, Prabhu. So you are taking chapter 11. Noted. Thank you. I will write it down. Okay. Any other devotees? So Yodhishwaru Prabhu. He has taken chapter 4:10. Okay. And Rasavan Prabhu has taken 4:11. Is that okay? Is that correct? So we have 8, 9, and 12 to be taken. At least I'm giving opportunity to all of you that you are present here today now to pick 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 here. You can pick another chapter somebody has taken also. It's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 for few 5 here. So exactly 5 we have here. Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, I'll take 12.
Okay, Yaduna Prabhu, you will take 12. Okay, very good. That chapter 12 is very sweet to become a right going back to Godhead. We have not reached the end, but it's very sweet. I've read it to the end. So you must do justice to that chapter 12 because it's very, very sweet. And there's so many nice points. Even in my note, my note is already full. So many nice points Prabhupada pointed in the purport. So I want to hear more of Prabhupada say. See, what I'm trying to say is that it's not just anybody can just read the verses and summarize to us. I want us, Prabhupada is our high of understanding the Bhagavatam. Because Prabhupada purport is a combination of all the Acharyas purport. Prabhupada read Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur's purport. He read Jiva Goswami purport. He read Baladev Vidya Bhusan. All those are our great Acharya. Prabhupada read their purport to give us this purport we are studying today. Even me, when I'm doing this, when I'm preparing for my lesson, I don't bother myself to go and read all those Acharyas purports. Although devotees, they do, some other devotees, they do that. But I don't need to do that. I do that sometimes if I want, but I don't need to do that because Prabhupada, in Prabhupada's purport, all the other Acharya has condensed inside. Just like if you read Prabhupada's purport of Bhagavad Gita also. If you read Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur's purport of Bhagavad Gita, you read by Baladev Vidya Bhushan commentary on Bhagavad Gita purport, you will know that Prabhupada is not outside of these two purports. Whatever you are reading in Baladev Vidya Bhushan purport and the Vishwanatha Chakravarti commentary on the Bhagavad Gita, everything Prabhupada condenses it together in his own purport. Prabhupada is not writing from his own just writing by his own experience. He's writing his purport based on the what he has studied from all these acharyas. So that is how rich Prabhupada's purport is. Very, very rich. So that is why I want us, when we are doing this, our assignment, let us go through the purports. Please, as a devotee, one of our major duties is to study this book. If we don't study this book, we cannot enjoy Krishna consciousness. Oh. In our busy schedules, let us find time to scrutinize this Bhagavatam. Let us, in our busy, we are busy, it's okay. Oh. But if you want to enjoy that, your business, take 1 hour out and scrutinize the purpose of these books we are studying. 1 hour, just 1 hour. Just control your mind, 1 hour or 1 hour 30 minutes, and just go into these chapters and bring out all these points in the verse and the purport of Srila Prabhupada. So thank you very much for those who have volunteered to who have taken these 3 verses. So remaining 2. We have 7 and 8. We have 3 more. Sorry, 8, 7 is not there. 8. We have 8 and 9 remaining. 10, 11, and 16. So we have 8 and 9 remaining. So since it's remaining only 2, I will just give the 2 to our wonderful devotees who are not picking. So it's Grace Salika Prabhu. Which one will you take? Will you be okay with chapter 8?
Yes, Prabhuji has sent message. He will take chapter 8 in the inbox, chat box.
Okay, you already sent message. Okay, thank you very much, Prabhu. So Salika Prabhu will take chapter 8. And so Tama Krishna Prabhu.
Krishna.
So you are taking chapter 9. Is that okay? Can you hear me, Tama Krishna Prabhu?
Hi, Krishna.
Yeah, can you hear me? Are you hearing me? I'm not hearing you. Your voice, your mic is open, but I'm not hearing you again. I'm just hearing Hare Krishna. Can you hear me, Tama Krishna Prabhu?
I can hear you.
Okay, very good. So,
yes.
So you will take chapter 9.
Somebody take chapter 8.
Who sent message in the inbox that you will take chapter? Let me check. 1 minute. I heard that somebody sent message. Okay, Prabhu Salika will take 8, so you take 9. Okay?
Okay. All right.
Ramakisha Prabhu.
All right.
Okay, so the presentation will take we mark the end of our each presentation is going to take 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Each presentation will take 30 minutes. Okay? And I'm going to assign dates. I'm going to assign date for the presentation for so now after we finish this particular chapter now, we are just going to be listening to presentation 30 minutes. The weekend that we follow after we finish, I'm see how long we can go for today. So maybe we will finish this by tomorrow, hopefully by Krishna's mercy. Then from then the next weekend, we're going to start from the presentation. So I'm going to give, so based on how we have taken, we will start. So for Salika Prabhu, we start. Let's take Prabhu Salika Prabhu is taking chapter 8. Then Tamakrishna Prabhu will follow. Then Yotishwara Prabhu will follow. Then Nasana Prabhu, then Yaduna Prabhu, chapter 12. And any other devotees who are not here now, who will pick any other chapter or any other chapter, we come after all these devotees who are here today have given their own presentation. That is how we are going to do it. So the people who are here, they will get the priority first. So that is how we are going to do it. So let's continue with today's lesson. So thank you very much for taking this, and let us really dive deep into these chapters. Let us dive into it, and they, 2 hours every day. We will go a lot. Just 2 hours every day, just like 2 hours for chanting, 2 hours for studying this particular chapter to really give this presentation. We really go a lot. So let us put all energy into this preparing the presentation. It's like our project. It's going to be our project. So after you give the presentation, I will collect the presentation from you, and I will mark it. Those who cannot give PowerPoint presentation, whatever notes you jot down, Tamakisha Pabo and Rasaba Pabo, please take notes. Even though if you cannot give presentation, you have to provide to me. You have to provide for me your notes. The note you produce from this particular chapter. So that is your project. So the notes which you produce from this particular chapter you are being given, you will submit that note for me. You will submit the note to me in A4. I say, yeah. In a Word document. You will submit it to me. I will give you my email. I will send my email to into our inbox. So you submit to me what you prepare from this particular chapter. Your own, you study the point you draw from the chapter. You write your own presentation. You write it in words. Now you don't need to give in a PowerPoint. Those who have PowerPoint, once you give your PowerPoint, I will collect the PowerPoint and I will give it mark accordingly. But those who cannot give PowerPoint, you write a note on your presentation and you submit it. Is that okay, Prabhuji? Are you hearing me? Rasaba Prabhu. Tamakisha Prabhu.
Yes.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay. So we are going to provide it in a Word format. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So once we assign the dates, then we will commence from there. So let's continue. I want to share the screen. Okay, so we stop in 14. So we continue from 15. Okay. Someone want to read? Let's continue. So we'll try our best to see how we can finish, how much we can finish. Yeah. Can you see my screen? Somebody want to read?
Prabhuji, can I read?
Yeah, please go ahead, Prabhu.
Manyamana idam vishwam maya rachita matyani avidhya rachit swapna gandharva nagaropamam. Translation: Srila Dhruv Maharaj realized that this cosmic manifestation bewilders living entities like a dream or phantasmagoria, Magoria, because it is a creation. Phantasmagoria, because it is a creation of the illusory external energy of Supreme Lord. Purport: in the deep forest, it sometimes appears that there are big palaces and nice cities. That is technically called Gandharva Nagara. Similarly, in dream, also we create many false things out of imagination. A self-realized person or a devotee knows well that this material cosmic manifestation is a temporary illusionary representation appearing to be truth. It is like a phantasmagoria, but behind this shadow creation, there is a reality, the spiritual world. A devotee is interested in the spiritual world, not its shadow. Since he has realization of the supreme truth, a devotee is not interested in this temporary shadow of truth. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Param Drastva Nivartate. Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
very much. Thank you very much. Self-explanatory. This is the realization of Dhruva Maharaj about this nature of this material world, which also we are supposed to have the same realization, but as a practitioner, it may take some time for us to come to this level of realization, because realization is not something you get in the book. It's what you get by practicing. So as we continue practicing spiritual life, we come to this level of realization. Many of us might have not come to that platform now because we still think that we can be happy by material arrangement. But as time goes on, understand more and more. Okay, so this is another verse. Atmastri ayat. This is a very long one. Atmastriya patya surudo balaridam kosham atapuram barivahara. I lost the meter. What is that meter again? Atmastriya patya surido balam ridam kosham antapuram pariviraha puvacharamya Gomandalam jaladimikalam akalavya Kalo pasritam itisa prayayo vilas vishalam. Translation: Thus Dhruva Maharaj at the end left his kingdom, which extended all over the earth and was bounded by the great oceans. He considered his body, his wife, his children, his friends, his army, his rich treasury, his very comfortable palaces, and his many enjoyable pleasure grounds to be created the illusory energy. Thus, in due course of time, he retired to the forest in the Himalayas known as Badarikashram. So at the end of the day, at the end of life, we must learn to detach from all the facility we are enjoying, from all the facility we have surrounded ourselves with in this material world. This is the point here in this verse. And in the purport, Prabhupada explained very nicely, in the beginning of life, when he went to the forest in search of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Dhruva Maharaj realized that all bodily conception of pleasure are product of illusory energy. In the very beginning, of course, it was after the kingdom of his father. And in order to get it, he went to search for the Supreme Lord. But he later realized that everything in the creation of the creation of the illusory energy. From the act of Srila Dhruva Maharaj, respecting Dhruva Maharaj, they added the word. From the act of Srila Dhruva Maharaj, we can understand that somehow or other, if one becomes Krishna conscious, it does not matter what his motivation is in the beginning, he will eventually realize the real truth by the grace of the Lord. In the beginning, Dhruva Maharaj was interested in the kingdom of his father, but became a great devotee, Mahabhagavat, and had no interest in material enjoyment. The action of life can be achieved only by devotees. Even if one completes only a 1 minute percentage of devotional service and then falls down from his immature position, is better than a person who fully engages in the fruitive activities of this material world. So we can understand from this purport of Srila Prabhupada the importance of devotional service, because that's the only thing that gives us the realization about the real nature of this material world. So because Dhruva Maharaj was deeply engaging in devotional service, you know, it was easy for him to realize the position of this material world. So it was not attached at all. When it's time to reach it, was able to live. Why we use a very nice analogy in the next purport, maybe the immediate next purport, about a coconut, how coconut separates itself from the shell. Papa is going to use that purport in the coming verse purports. So let's go to the next verse. That analogy is very, very, very good. You know, someone want to read this? Anyone want to read? Let's be eager to read. If not, we are waiting some valuable time, you know. Yes, Yadona Prabhu, go ahead, please.
Tyasyam Visuddha Karana Shivava Vigraha Padvasanam Jitamaru Manakshakshaha Stule Dahara Bhagavat Praktipura Etad Dhyayam Stada Dhyahito Vyashita Samadhau.
Thank you.
It's okay. It's okay. Because our books. Translation. In Badarikashram, Dhruva Maharaj's senses became completely purified because he bathed regularly in the crystal clear, purified water. He fixed his sitting position and by yogic practice controlled the breathing process and the air of life. In this way, his senses were completely withdrawn. Then he concentrated his mind on the Archa Vigraha form of the Lord, which is the exact replica of the Lord, and thus meditating upon him entered into complete trance. Purport. Here is a description of the Ashtanga Yoga system to which Dhruva Maharaj was already accustomed. Ashtanga Yoga was never meant to be practiced in a fashionable city. Dhruva Maharaj went to Badarika Ashram and in a solitary place, alone, he practiced yoga. He concentrated his mind on the Archa Vigraha, the worshipable deity of the Lord, which exactly represents the Supreme Lord. And thus thinking constantly of the deity, he became absorbed in trance. Worship of the Archa Vigraha is not idol worship. The Archa Vigraha is an incarnation of the Lord in a form appreciable by a devotee. Therefore, devotees engage in the temple in the service of the Lord as Archa Vigraha, a form made of stula material, objects such as stone, metal, wood, jewels, or paint. All of these are called stula, or physical representations. Since the devotees follow the regulative principles of worship, even though the Lord is here, dear in his physical form, it is not different from his original spiritual form. Thus, the devotees get the benefit of achieving the ultimate goal of life, that is to say, becoming always absorbed in thoughts of the Lord. This incessant thought of the Lord is prescribed in Bhagavad Gita, makes one the topmost yogi. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Do you want to say something regarding what you have read? Do you have any points you want to share with us?
Every day we do deity worship in the temple. So from Srila Prabhupada's purport about Dhruva Maharaj fixing his focus on meditating on the Archa Vigraha form, so I'm realizing that the deities are to help us maintain focus, maintain concentration, so that we become completely Krishna conscious. Then when we leave the body, we can go back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. And the deity is not thought to never be seen as stone. They are not just ordinary wood material. The same supreme personality of God in his benevolence is residing in this form. Hare Krishna.
Right. Thank you very much. Yeah. And also I've seen many in particular temple that also have the deity form of the Lord. Then you can ask yourself, who are you who are you serving? Who are you doing all those services for? When you become so busy that you cannot even have one day in a week or 2 days in a week to serve personally that deity form of the Lord that you are doing all those services for, how will you become absorbed in that deity form of the Lord? So this shows that all the times of management of Dhruva Maharaj, he was always engaged in personal service of that deity. That is why when he gave up everything, now it was easy for him to absorb those deity in his mind, to become fully focused on them. Because all his life, that form of the Lord he has seen in his heart, now he put them in form of the deities. He was able to serve them in that form, and he became absorbed in that. So that enabled him to go into trance at the end of his when he became perfect in his worship. So this is the whole essence. Prabhupada has given us everything. He gave us the part of devotional service. He gave us the beautiful form of the deities for us to worship, for now to meditate on the Supreme Lord while we engage in our services. So, we are all indebted to Srila Prabhupada, and we can see the more we become more absorbed in doing our services, we can see that we cannot pay that debt even in one lifetime. So the only way we can just do that is to give time to study these books he has given to us, because by studying them again and again, then that will bring us to the platform in which to be able to serve his mission properly. So thank you very much. Any other comment or contribution regarding that point? And then if not, we can proceed. I want us to see how much we can go today and tomorrow, so that from next week we can start our presentation. Anyone want to take this particular one, verse 18? Who has not taken before? Rasama Prabhu, you want to read? Is Rasama Prabhu there?
Okay.
Yes, I know you're always very eager to read, Prabhu. Please, let's hear from your lotus mouth.
Bhakti Haraba Gavati Pravahan Najashram Ananda Vaspa Kalayambu Adyamana Bikri Jamana Ridaya Pulaka Chitango Nakma Namas Smarad Aswad Iti Mukha Linga. Translation. Because of his transcendental bliss, incessant tears flowed from his eyes. His heart melted, and there was shivering and standing of the hairs of all over his body. Thus, transformed in the trance of devotional service, Dhruva Maharaj completely forgot his bodily existence, and thus he immediately became liberated from material bondage. Purport. Due to constant engagement in devotional service, hearing, chanting, remembering, worshiping the deity, etc., as prescribed in 9 varieties, there are different symptoms which appear in the body of a devotee. These 8 bodily transformations, which indicate that a devotee is already liberated within himself, are called Astasatvika Vikara. When a devotee completely forgets his bodily existence, he should be understood to be liberated. He is no longer engaged in the body. The example is given that when the coconut becomes completely dry, the coconut pulp within the coconut shell separates from the bondage of the shell and the outer covering. By moving the dry coconut, one can hear that the pulp within is no longer attached to the shell or the covering. Similarly, when one is fully absorbed in devotional service, he is completely disconnected from the two material coverings, the subtle and gross bodies. Dhruva Maharaj actually attained this stage of life by constantly discharging devotional service. He has already been described as a Mahabhagavata, for unless one becomes a Mahabhagavata or a first-class pure devotee, these symptoms are not visible. Lord Chaitanya exhibited all these symptoms. Thakur Haridas also exhibited them, and there are many pure devotees who manifested such bodily symptoms. They are not to be imitated, but when one is actually advanced, these symptoms are exhibited. At that time, it is to be understood that a devotee is materially free. Of course, from the beginning of devotional service, the path of liberation immediately opens. Just as the coconut taken from the tree immediately begins to dry, it simply takes some time for the shell and pulp to separate from one another. An important word in this verse is mukta linga. Mukta means liberation, and linga means the subtle body. When a man dies, he quits the gross body, but the subtle body of mind, intelligence, and ego carries him to a new body. While existing in the present body, the same subtle body carries him from one stage of life to another. For example, from childhood to boyhood by mental development. The mental condition of a baby is different from that of a boy. The mental condition of a boy is different from that of a young man. And the mental condition of a young man is different from that of an old man. So, at death, the process of changing bodies takes place due to the subtle body. The mind, intelligence, and ego carry the soul from one gross body to another. This is called transmigration of the soul. But there is another stage when one becomes liberated, even from the subtle body. At that time, the living entity is competent and fully prepared to be transferred to the transcendental or spiritual world. The description of the bodily symptoms of Sri Dhruva Maharaj makes it apparent that he became perfectly fit to be transferred to the spiritual world. One can experience the distinction between the subtle and gross bodies even daily. In a dream, one's gross body is lying on the bed while the subtle body carries the soul, the living entity, to another atmosphere. But because the gross body has to be continued, the subtle body comes back and settles in the present gross body. Therefore, one has to become free from the subtle body also. This freedom is known as Mukta Linga. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mukta Linga. So, Prabhu, please tell us, share more light on what you have read. Tell us what you learned.
Yeah, my understanding of this verse is that in a spiritual life, we first understand our three aspects or dimensions as physical, subtle, and spiritual. And then they understand how the soul, the spirit self, is completely aloof of these physical and subtle bodies. Many a times you hear some circles They say the soul needs the body, or the soul cannot exist without the body. But this assertion is completely wrong when it comes to pure spiritual practice. The objective of pure spiritual practice is to perform devotional service to the level of understanding that the soul is of itself and then has nothing to do with the subtle and the physical body. And then, though in this physical realm, once we are within the physical realm, the objective of the soul is to use what is at his disposal as the physical body and the subtle body to perform this devotional service. And in that wise, by so doing, even purifies the physical body and the subtle bodies. But the ultimate goal is to be completely detached from the physical and subtle body. It is very easy to detach from the physical body, but the subtle body seems to be very difficult. So, as devotees, this is where our focus needs to be. That we perform our devotional service so that even in our subconscious state, we still remain in connection with Guru and Krishna. So this is my little understanding I can share on this verse. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. This verse is very, very additional. So this verse deep and the focus. Linga. So unless our body, then we can say we are going back home. As long as the body is
We are not hearing you clearly.
Body and the next body and the next. So it's very interesting. And can you hear me?
Your message is breaking. We are not hearing
Can
properly.
you hear me now, Prabhu? Maybe it's network.
You should continue. Let's see.
Maybe it's the network. Let me.
Scavi can approve Prabhu coming back. But otherwise, we may have to end. It's about 7 minutes to 10. And I have a for life. Hare Krishna. Can you hear me?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, we can hear you.
So I'm saying that maybe we need to end it here to I think he's coming back.
think Kami Prabhu was cut off, so he left abruptly. We can wait for him for a few minutes and see. So that he doesn't come back and met all of us gone.
Can you hear me now, Prabhuji? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Prabhuji, can you hear me? Can you
Yes,
hear
we
me?
can
Your
hear you
voice has
now.
come very faintly.
Okay. Sometimes that is what happens in this kind of internet too. Okay, so we just like to conclude for today. So, Prabhupada, are you still hearing me?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Yeah, Prabhupada talking about Dhruva Maharaj developing the Baba, symptom of Baba, ecstatic symptoms, to show that it's already liberated. So once the devotee start having those ecstatic symptoms, it means that you're already liberated from your subtle body. It means that your subtle body also is already liberated. It means that once a devotee has come to this level, that devotee has come to the level of Baba. And before you can come to the level of Baba means you had already passed the stage of Ashakti. Ashakti means attachment. You have become so attached to Krishna, so attached that you become so absorbed. When you become so absorbed in Krishna, then you can experience all these Baba symptoms of crying, shivering of the body. Once you have come to that level, means it's a symptom that one is already attained the level of Mukta Linga. That is, his subtle body is already liberated. I mean that once a devotee comes to that platform, means that once he leaves his material body, he's going back to the spiritual world, which we are going to see now in the subsequent verses. We are going to study how after he has experienced all this Ashta, proper mention here, Ashta Shatrika Vikara, which is the 8 symptoms of Bhava, then we're going to see that the next stage is that immediately the Lord of Vaikuntha will send a plane to pick him up because he has become completely liberated. That is why Prabhupada said that every devotee should try as much as possible to come to the level of Ashakti before leaving his body. Because when you come to the level of Ashakti, automatically you come to the level of Bhava. Ashakti means strong attachment to Krishna. Even you cannot stop thinking of him, always absorbing his thinking. Just like Dhruva Maharaj became so absorbed in Acha Vigraha, always meditating on him, then he started experiencing all these symptoms, then already he become liberated. So it's very, very important to understand is that unless our subtle body is liberated from the material entanglement, which comes after becoming attached to Krishna, becoming strongly attached to Krishna. That happens when you become strongly attached to Krishna. Then we can say we are truly liberated from this material world. Yeah, and on that stage, we no more we care less about our material situation. Okay, so it's very, very important to take note of that. This is the point of this particular verse. Prabhupada is trying to explain to us and mention that once one comes to that level, one already on the level of Mahabhagavat. Only a pure, unalloyed devotee Mahabhagavat can come to this stage of experiencing after Satvika Vikara, or the 8 ecstatic symptoms that is on the level of Baba. Only a pure Mahabhagavat devotee can come to that level. It's not a very cheap stage to come when you network again. Okay, so any comment, contribution? 1 minute more to go. So any question or comments or contribution so that we can round up for today? The network is already disturbing. He has tried for almost like 2 hours. Now, no interruption. Now, Nigerian network sometimes is like that. You pay money, but you don't get full service. How can you pay money for a data, and when you are using the data, they are interrupting you? Only in Africa you get that kind of treatment. Any contribution? Okay, so thank you very much, and so we continue from where we stopped today. Tomorrow we continue from test 19, which we explain about Dhruva Maharaj going back home, back to Godhead. Very, very wonderful passage. When I was studying that before, during the week before the weekend, I was studying it. I came about a very wonderful point Papa mentioned in the purport. Very, very interesting. About flying in the space. Very, very wonderful point Papa. I came to know about the greatness of pigeon. Pigeon. You have seen that bird. Pigeon. Papa explained, how pigeon can fly in the space. I don't think modern scientists understand this also. So maybe we'll come to that passage tomorrow. So thank you very much. We'll stop here.